Just a friendly reminder that the opinions expressed on this show are not worth a Canadian penny, so disregard anything you hear that might get anyone in trouble. And despite some of the great ideas you may hear, don't try them at home. Go to a friend's house instead.
It's time to get a gun. That's what I've been thinking. Well, I could afford one. And if I did just a little less drinking, time to put something between me and the sun. When the talking is over, it's time to get a gun.
Hey everybody, welcome to episode 345 for Slamfire Radio for March 11th, 2020. I'm one of your hosts, Kelly Lynn.
I think that's me. I'm Adriel.
Yeah.
I'm Trevor.
And I'm Ian.
Hey, we have a newbie on the show. Hi, Ian.
Hey, how you doing?
Yeah, if people don't know you, you're the guy from the Pepper Podcast.
Yeah, I once in a while tend to do two podcasts a week. One's a Canadian Prepper Podcast, the other one's Canadian Patriot Podcast.
So
Right.
do your intro that you would do on both of those for us.
Well, let's see here. My name is Ian. I'm a hobby farmer and preparedness autiste on Vancouver Island. And the other one, I think I say pretty much just hobby farmer, my farm's designated handyman.
Yes. Yeah.
Right.
That's the most recent one.
Yeah.
And you're on the show because the world is ending as we know it.
Not if you have toilet paper.
Oh.
Yeah.
I've got a hand and I've got running water. No?
For now.
For now. Best thing ever, don't buy toilet paper, buy the, kids wipes for the bum.
Why don't you just go to the dollar store and get some rags and then just wash them off after you're done?
Yeah, but you need more water.
Oh. I plan
Yeah.
on going full cannibal and just, laying siege to my neighborhood, so I'm not preparing anything.
Okay.
Oh, hello.
That'll contribute that to the main topic then. So, Adriel, how are you going to get ready? By eating one neighbor at a time. That's my meal plan.
We're at day
All right,
one.
man.
It's like, oh man, everyone, you got to watch out for this COVID thing. You got to stay inside. And we're like, nope, I'm eating everyone. So that's how this is going to play out.
Nope.
I've already got my recipes. I've stockpiled barbecue sauce, not toilet paper.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Don't they just call it long pork down in New Guinea and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like they just say it kind of tastes like.
I got a couple of extra barbecue tanks. I got some. I
So
think.
I guess Ian, you're here tonight to talk with Kelly and I mostly.
Because my plan's rock solid. I need no advice from any experts.
Yeah, no, you're fine. You just start drinking, and we'll carry on.
I mean, really, if you start attacking those people, there's going to be no food in their house because it'll be like knee high in toilet paper, but no food. So they'll have the cleanest
Right.
buttholes ever on their emaciated corpses. That's kind of the way it's going to be.
Right.
Gristly.
Well,
I love
told.
You
I
made
was
that
going-
point on this week's show, Ian. What's the point of paper if you have no food to use the paper?
You can't poop if you don't eat.
You can't eat the toilet paper though,
Mm-hmm.
I suppose it'd be like self-cleaning.
from the inside.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I put a message out to everybody. They're welcome over to my house. They have to bring guns, ammo, and one roll of toilet paper, as well as snacks. But the snacks have to be keto. That's it. So, and beer.
Wow,
Beer would be
no
good.
one comes here. Anyone
No.
approaches this place gets whacked.
Yeah, I went to Costco and got the proper thing to get at Costco. It's
Are
like,
they any good?
they are
He's
awesome.
holding up.
love those.
He's holding up a big jar of pork rinds, and I've been getting pork rinds lately. And man, I got to sit there, pork rinds in one hand, and Frank's Red Hot in the other. I just can't
Can
stand
I-
the smell of them, the flavor, the texture.
Can I see what you actually have again? Hold them up again because you put them down as soon as I turned over. Okay. Yeah, I was wondering about those ones because those are available on Amazon. But the ones that I like from down in the States, you can't order them. You have to actually go and buy them. So what are those like?
They smell really bad in a big jar like that because the jar
yeah.
like concentrates the smell. So like a little
Yeah.
bag of pork rinds, not bad. I find those big jars, you can get a big whiff of that stuff.
So it's not just me; they stink.
It's almost like the darker ones have boar taint on them or something, and then they I don't know, but they seem to work out well. Everything
one-
from the cheese
one-
dip that comes to Costco works.
Yeah, the ones that are good are the ones that actually still have a little bit of oil in them, a little soaked in it. Because the ones that are in that dry, the ones that Trevor you had recently, they're like
they're
eating
crap.
dust.
Yep, they really are.
Gross. So,
I
We should talk
actually
about guns.
use them.
oh, what?
We should talk about guns on this show.
Yeah, because it's going to be a long show anyways, so we should probably get to it. But What type of pork rinds are they? I just want to make sure that everybody knows.
They're called UTZ
Okay.
pork rinds.
All right, everybody go shopping for those, and they're available on Amazon as well, and not just and you can go ahead and get them at Costco as well. So, what we did in guns, let's talk about that. What we did in guns this week is brought to you by the Calgary Shooting Center. It's Canada's premier firearms retailer, and there's a bunch of stuff that's going on sale right now. So, it's
nothing was on
actually
sale.
Courses.
These are
days.
courses. Yeah.
Yeah, so there's a whole bunch of courses that are that we put up. Why don't you actually go to the overview in the shooting center, because what they have is the dynamic carbine course. They have a range safety trauma course, which is actually excellent. Everybody should go and do that. That's going to be in April. May is again going to be dynamic pistol, carbine, etc., etc. It's throughout the whole entire year. Prerequisite for some of them is dynamic pistol 1. You need to actually take that in order to take number 2, I believe.
Yeah. So there's only level 2 for the pistol. Carbine is level 1. Shotgun is level 1. There's a level
shotgun
2
there too.
Yeah. So the first one, your entry into any of them is dynamic pistol 1. You can't take the shotgun, you can't take the rifle until you've taken dynamic pistol 1, and obviously you can't take dynamic pistol 2 until you've taken dynamic pistol 1. So the first one the first dynamic pistol is offered on May 9th and 10th. So get into that, and then everything else is after that, except for the carbine. That's for people that took dynamic pistol last year.
Okay.
Carbine
Do you know spots and costs at all?
No, as you said, go to the website, and it's shootingcenter.com/training/overview, and the prices and stuff is there for signing up.
Fantastic. So you have to take the dynamic pistol 1 for some of them or most of them.
Yeah.
All right.
For all of them except for 1. There's no prereq for 1.
Also for the training safe, the trauma course.
It says all others require dynamic pistol 1. So I don't know if that applies to the trauma class or not. I wouldn't think so because there's no shooting. But don't take our word for it. Contact them and
contact them. But they're doing courses. All right. So Trevor, why don't you tell us what you did in guns this week?
Sure. I bought another nylon 66. I got my hands this time on. Shout out to Ben. Ben found me another gun. Spends all of his time at work looking for ways to spend my money on the internet. He's living vicariously, I think.
Does he work for the government?
No, he actually has a job. He works for a living. And he found me an Apache Black nylon 66.
Nice.
So it's the last one. You need to have one in every color, but of course I want one in every color from both US and Canada. I doubt that's going to happen. I'm going to put a huge spending freeze on here if things pan out with that UNB thing that I posted on Facebook the other day.
Okay.
So
that was actually my first gun.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Nice.
Yeah. It was a black nylon 66, and the funny thing is we put probably about 30,000 plus rounds through it and never wore out the receiver, which is amazing considering what the receiver is made out of, right?
Yep. Yeah, it really is. Yeah, the only metal parts in the gun are the bolt and the barrel. So that'll be here on Friday. It's in excellent shape. I'm pretty excited. And then I went to Fredericton to help one of the IPSC guys down there, Mark, set up his new Dillon 750. Ooh. So the Dillon full-size progressive presses that do both rifle and pistol are the 550, the 650, and then it used to be the 1050, but now they have one in between the 650 and the 1050, and it's called the 750. So it's essentially, to make it very simple, it is a Dillon 650 with a Dillon 550 primer feed system. That's the simplest way to describe it, and it works really, really well. So yeah, we set that up and got him going, and he loaded up a bunch of 9mm. And then later on that night at Filthy's place, we unsuccessfully tried to install. Oh man, remind me at the end of the show to send you guys pictures in our private conversation about the abortion of a setup we had going for this. Or did I send them already? It involved barrel clamps. Yeah? No? Anyway.
No.
So,
but now everybody's going to be messaging you wanting pictures.
Right. He brought over just his upper so we could try and install a barrel on it. Mm-hmm. When we finally compensated for the fact that Filthy isn't a real man and doesn't own a vice.
Oh my.
Yeah, right?
Throw down.
You get a vice at your house?
C-clamps? C-clamps? Yeah, I got a vice.
Actually, yeah, I got a vice too.
You got a vice? Ian, you got a vice?
Oh, yeah.
Adriel, vice?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay. You don't even have a workshop in your house the way that Filthy does. He's got a workshop. He's got a bench. You got no vice to put on the bench. Anyway. So, we C-clamps. You're right, Adriel. We overcame. We adapted. We overcame. We took the vice block that the upper goes into that should go into the vice, was why it's called a vice block, and we C-clamped it to the side of the bench.
Mhm.
And then we were able to get in there. Of course, Filthy's Squire was there, Fred, and he's a mechanic for a living. He brought in a torque wrench. So he just happened to have a torque wrench in his car. And I mean like a real torque wrench. We started to get things going and discovered that the barrel extension had come loose.
Off the barrel?
Off the barrel.
And
yeah.
what kind of barrel was it?
It was actually a takeoff from an M&P.
Weird.
M&P factory barrel. Yeah. So we took it to the guy who built my Grand, the gunsmith out there in Fredericton who built my first Grand. And he messed with it a little bit while we were there, but there was too many of us there and I wouldn't stop. I was like a squirrel in his workshop. Oh, this is new and this is new and what's this? And can we see this? And let's go look at some guns. And finally, when we got out of his hair, he got the job. He got the job done before the day was over. So I'm not sure how exactly he did it because it's quite a process. Those things are torqued on and then the feed ramps are cut and then the indicator pin or locator pin that locks it into the uppers is installed and then the gas port is drilled and all this has to be timed and lined up correctly, right? So that was the problem. I got the barrel on tight, but then looked and it's an A2 front sight gas block and the pins that hold it on are tapered and the holes that are drilled into the bottom of the barrel, like the scallops that the pins go in, was off to the side, canted, not clocked. It's like not timed. I was like, oh, we got an issue here. And then Fred grabs it and he starts moving the barrel and the barrel extension with his hand. So yeah, the barrel extension for those non-AR aficionados out there who haven't built one before, when you get an AR-15 barrel, it's actually in two pieces. There's the barrel and then there's the barrel extension that goes on the back right over the chamber. And that is what allows you to put it into the upper. And then it's screwed in place depending on the kind of whatever kind of barrel nut that you use. So the barrel extension is what aligns it into the upper, and there's feed ramps that are cut into it and stuff. And
they're not supposed to come apart.
They are not.
When you buy a barrel, it always comes with an extension. They're together, and you're not supposed to have to take it off or do anything to it.
If you do, it takes some very specialized tools to put it back on. Like you got to be basically a place that makes AR barrels and can put them on. Because they're timed, right? And I mean, they're torqued to like 180 foot-pounds or some such thing there. Don't quote me on that number. But anyway, it was quite a process. And Fred taught me something that I probably already knew, but forgot that I knew. You know, the front sight was on the barrel. I'm like, well, I can't get the gas block on. I can't get the barrel on with the gas block on without the gas tube in it. So I've got to take the front sight off, put the gas tube in, put it back on. And Fred's like, no, man, you don't. Like you just bring it in through the receiver and then into the gas block and then pin it in place. Like, and then when you got to, you know, if you want to take the barrel off, it comes off once anyway. It's like, well, if I do that, how am I supposed to? The reason why, I had to tighten down the barrel nut first. So the gas block is there. If I leave the front sight gas block on the barrel, and I bring the gas tube through the receiver and into the gas block and pin it, how am I supposed to tighten the barrel nut? So when the it's okay if it's after the fact and the barrel nut's already been on and tightened. You can remove the gas block, then take off the barrel nut. Sorry. If the gas tube is already into the gas block and the barrel nut has already been torqued down, and then you want to take it apart without removing the front gas block sight, then you can drift the pin and back it into the receiver and take it out. Then you can remove your barrel nut. But in this case,
why are you guys using a front sight tower?
That's what was on the barrel, and that's what he wanted.
Like just get rid of that and move on.
Well, he bought that. That's what he wanted, man. I don't know. I don't like those either. But anyway,
because those low profile gas blocks, like you're going to go over that anyways when you get it. Does he have like a non free float handguard as well?
Right, he had that kind of handguard set up.
Ugh.
So yeah.
You can get a Chinese free float forearm for like $20, and it makes a difference. You rest that thing on a barrier or something like that, your shots are going somewhere else.
Yep, there's a reason why they came out with free float, right? So you're writing down the time so you can go take that bomb out.
Yep.
Good for you. Anyway, now that I'm thinking about it, Fred was right. Once we got the barrel nut on, I could have put the gas tube in after the fact once it was timed. But anyway, so we took a trip. We did that. Went to the gunsmith. He fixed the barrel, and then I went out to the gun dealer to pick up a pallet of clays for my club. So, and then on the way home from the gun dealer, we found a spot and down a dirt road somewhere where we could test fire the second nylon 66 I got. I brought down some rifles because we were supposed to go to the range, but I was too much of a pansy to walk like 2 kilometers in with a heavy gun case. Pansy, or was drinking till 4 and was too hungover to do it. You decide.
I
Kelly's
picked the
nodding.
latter one.
She understands. Yeah.
It was
So
the second one. Yeah.
it was the second one indeed. So anyway, I wanted to test fire my Mohawk Brown Nylon 66, and I wanted to test fire my Savage 64B. The Nylon 66 ran like a champ, and the Savage B, let's just say I bought a new magazine on Monday morning.
It's a Savage 64. That's like...
That's no.
par for the course.
Oh, really? Are they all that bad? Because I couldn't get more than 2 rounds in a row.
Like the magazine is a big problem with them, but reliability is not great in Savage 64s.
Yeah,
Neither is accuracy, and they're kind of ugly, and the fit's not that great. But they are very cheap.
They are a pain in the
They're very inexpensive.
What were you using for ammo?
I don't know, Kelly. I got a bunch of junk that's laying around, so
that's another issue. But
yeah,
all right.
I mean, you're saying I should try it with something like
reliable? Yes.
Like a suggestion. I'm listening.
I don't know, CCI.
Yeah, like standard or high velocity.
High velocity.
High velocity usually. Yeah.
Okay.
All
right, I'll try.
The mini mags are probably like the most reliable high velocity ammo you
and the
can get.
cheapest. Reliable and cheapest.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's pretty high quality stuff, though. But I don't think it's going to solve your issue. I think you're like getting a new mag is probably a good idea, and then
new mag and mini mags.
Yeah.
And then what I get, I live with.
Yep.
Cool. That's all for me.
Excellent. Adriel, you're up.
I'm up. All right. I went shooting in the cold, really cold, cold and snow. I went shooting the Tokarevs. Did some cool,
awesome,
double-handed cowboy stuff. Loaded up the mags and threw an extra round into the chamber, so I got to do 10 in each. I produced the video on the ammo and posted that on YouTube, and then I just produced a video on the Norinco JW20 and posted that on YouTube as well. I went really far in depth with that thing, but I was looking around at like the other videos for it. And they're just like not as comprehensive, and I kept running into problems where like, oh, none of these other videos covered this thing. So I thought I would make the video that covered all those things. I want to show you guys just one thing about this, and I'm not trying to nerd out about a Chinese Norinco because who cares? But I just love I love one thing about this design, the compactness of the receiver, and I think one of the cooler things about this is just how toolless and how easy like the stuff comes apart. There's the entire operating mechanism right there, and it's just so simple. That's bolt, hammer, no hammer, striker, trigger group. The whole shebang is right there, and it just comes out of the gun like that. So, in terms of like speed to get a bolt out, that is fast. That's faster than probably any of the other semi-auto 22s that I have. Even that Savage with the fancy dust cover thing.
Yeah.
Anyways. It's almost like the Uzi of 22s there. Like there's only like a couple parts there.
And it's all hand. You can do it all by hand, right? There's one screw in the forend that you can take out. Everything else is like hand or like a loonie or something like that.
Is everything all included, and is it easy, like not included, but is everything all encased, and is it easy to get to clean? Because if you got everything, so you have the bolt so close to the trigger group.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, well, I mean, it's all there. You could pull it off, and I mean,
you can pull it off.
yeah,
Okay.
just you can take it right apart. It's very simple, extremely simple. I mean, it's an old design, right? And
Yeah.
you can kind of see that in how it's built.
Cool.
I thought that was cool.
Yeah.
And then I've been looking in my safe and in my my parts bin, and I have a mag, like one of these 308 or 65 Creedmoor mags, and I've got this like fancy trigger that's just been sitting around.
You're selling them, aren't you?
No, I bought a rifle to put them in. I went the
You're
other
halfway
way.
to a build,
The
buddy.
other way. Yeah, I'm already halfway
You're
through
gonna
the build, and
Yeah.
no. So last week I was drooling over that Maple Ridge Armory Matrix Aerospace build. They had a 6.5. The thing is, so I started looking at the parts that they included in there. They sell that barrel on its own for $450.
Yeah.
They sell the fore end on its own for $350. The stock is a name brand stock. The grip, that everything is like name brand, either Maple Ridge Armory or some other brand out there. So a lot of the times when you buy like a factory produced rifle, it's got basic stuff on it. The stock is like just a crappy mil spec stock. They expect you to throw it out, so it's not a good one anyways, right? Whereas like everything I looked at this is like, yep. Comes with a crappy trigger. I don't care. I got this fancy thing off the side. Doesn't come with mags. I got mags coming out my ears. So I ordered one of those from Maple
You had
Ridge.
to. I think if you didn't, you know what, your thing would fall off.
Well, I've been looking at like the Stag 10s. I've been I had a BCL, and I've been looking at some of the other guns in that AR-10-ish style. The Matrix Defense one that Iron Guns was bringing in was 10.5 pounds dry, which is pretty heavy. I think they were running like a pretty thick barrel on that thing. And the Maple Ridge one said it was 8.5 pounds. I was like, oh, that is more my speed. Comes with a nice brake. Oh, everything I'd want. So I literally, I'm going to put a trigger on. One thing I haven't figured out is what I'm going to do for a scope. If I'm going to go to like a 3-9 or like a 1-6, or what I'm going to do there. Open for suggestions. If anyone listening has an idea as to there's a deal out there that I need to jump on for a scope, I'm all ears.
Sorry, what are the prerequisites?
I'm going to use it for hunting deer and coyotes.
Is it 3-9? You want 3-9?
Something around there. Yeah.
We got a beautiful loophole at the shop right now. That's 3-9.
Mhm.
It's like cross. It's loopholed, but it's like Vortex Crossfire pricing. It's under $300.
I have like
Really?
an unnatural aversion to loopholed for some reason. They were just
What?
like really behind the times for a long time, and
How
I'm just
dare
not into
you?
it. Fight about this too.
Yeah, there's only two scopes, man. Loophole and Vortex.
Mhm.
Everything else is a sham.
Nikon and Citron.
Nikon.
And,
Yes.
yeah, there's some other stuff out
Stop
there.
with that
yeah,
Night Force
Yeah.
stuff.
yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah, and now
tell me what you're looking for, because we got scopes at the shop. Cheap.
3-9, like a
And remember,
$400 one.
You get a discount because he's a sponsor of the show on in-stock items.
Good to know. Yes, good to know. I'll have to think about that. Yeah, I haven't even thought about what scope. I was literally just thinking today. It's like, oh, I was like rooting around looking for a scope, and like I got scopes, but like they're not quite the right fit for this thing. I got it in 6.5 Creedmoor because that's a better caliber than 308, and now I need to.
Yeah, why don't we actually ask Ryan McLean, or we can ask.
Well, I'm looking for something around the $400 or $500 mark, and I'm probably going to use it to hunt deer and maybe shoot targets.
We've got a Vortex Diamondback, but it's the big one. It's not the 416. It's the other one. This 6 to 24 by 50.
Oh, that's a lot. That's probably more than I need. A 6 to 24 is probably more than I need.
All right.
A 4 to 12 would be fine. Yeah.
The other suggestion is, who is it that's on Gun Nuts that sells the refurbs?
Oh, Profit River.
Profit River. Yeah. Check out and see what they have on
sale. See if they've got anything. Yep.
Yeah.
The other thing I've got to watch for now is 6.5 Creedmoor deals. I think Tenda had a deal with S&B, 140 grain 6.5 Creedmoor, $200 for 200 rounds. If they do that again, I'm hopping on that because that's a smoking deal for that stuff.
When are you starting to grow your hair?
I need the man. I can grow the hair at the back a little bit, but I still think like instead of a man bun, it's just gonna be a bald spot right there. I need the stick-on man bun with the suction cup right up here.
The ponytails.
I need to smoke way more weed. Yeah, there's a lot of missing things here. I'm just not doing it. I'm
Lumberjack.
not living up to the
skinny
6'5" Creedmoor.
jeans.
I don't even have a flannel shirt that I can wear.
Serious.
Buy one.
Pathetic. Absolutely pathetic.
Did you see that news story about the hipster that was upset that someone used a picture of him in an article that said all hipsters look the same, and then he later found out it wasn't actually him?
It wasn't a picture of him. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's so good, so good. But yeah, so I'm gonna have a pretty nice rifle, I think, after I'm done, because I'm gonna have a amazing trigger, amazing barrel. It's all gonna be good. It's all gonna be good. I'm gonna go crank some deer and coyotes and whatever else gets in my way that I got a license for.
Possibly neighbors.
Well, I never know. I mean, if I'm hungry and there's a travel ban on because of coronavirus,
Zombie apocalypse. I can't even say it.
Zombie apocalypse.
Wow.
Apocalypse.
Well, they're not reanimating yet. I mean, give
Right.
it time. But anyway,
Ian, you might appreciate this story. I'm not going to say why. I've always said if I go down in a plane crash, I'm not going to wait until we're out of food. I'm eating a pilot. I'm setting a tone on day one.
they got us into this mess.
Yep.
You know,
I'm
it's only fair they go first, right?
Right. I'm starting with a pilot. Like in the movie Alive,
It's exactly
it took
what they
like
did.
months before they got to the pilot. And he's like, I'm starting with the pilot. I'm like, dude, that would have been like the first maybe 3 hours and 15 minutes. I'd be eating a pilot. Just putting that out there. If ever you're traveling with me, keep that in mind.
Got to maintain your strength right off the bat, right?
Right off the bat.
Otherwise-
That's how you maintain your supremacy.
Yeah, that's it for me. How about you?
Go. Go
No?
with. Why does it say Jonesy? Ian.
Yeah, well, that works too. Yeah. So, anyways, for myself, so of the last 7 days, I think I've been on the road for 5 of them for work. So, I'm a little bit of disadvantage, but that's okay. So, just before we left, the wife told me, in her own little preparedness mind, she said, "You know what? The lead smelters are all in China now, except for like a couple secondary ones in Canada. The U.S. doesn't have any lead smelters. We should probably get some projectiles." I'm like, I agree. So we went and got a few thousand projectiles, which was great. So I took delivery of those. They showed up actually while I was gone. Let's see here. So I did some reloadings before I left. When I got back here, I took possession of a made in China extended magwell for my Glock, like a flare magwell.
Mhm.
Still there? Okay.
Yeah.
Just told me wait a sec there. And I fit like a glove and made us of the finest Chinesium, but I did let it sit for a few days just to make sure that anything that was maybe sitting on it died. Let's see here. Just in case. I
Just
also,
in case.
off another podcaster, actually, I bought this beautiful Ruger SR 1911.
With
Ooh.
Magpul grips.
Yes. So it started out with my little obsession with 1911s. I started off with Norenkos. Then, of course, we talked about lipstick on a pig on this show before, haven't we?
Mm-hmm.
And then, so I worked my way up to a Shooter's Arm Manufacturing 1911, which was a commander size. I didn't really like that one that much, but it was smooth, and so I just sold that one, and I got this one, and it's been fantastic. Like I haven't taken it to the range yet, but I stripped it down.
I'll hold it up again. Yeah, keep holding it up while you're talking about it. I want to check it out. Carry on.
Yeah, so I stripped it down. Everything
Got a
was
Manny dot?
Yeah, it's got a
Oh no. Okay.
fiber optic on it.
Front. Yeah.
Yeah. And let's see here, it's just the 3-dot side otherwise. And that, it came with 3 Chip McCormick 10 rounders, and it
Okay.
came with the Ruger 7 and 8 round that come with
So
the
it's a
standard.
45. That answers that question.
And fantastic gun. See what else did I do? I took possession of a group purchase that we did for an MDT chassis. So I got my LSS chassis
Nice.
because I've never shot beyond like 350 yards really on a regular basis. So I thought I'd get into the long distance stuff.
Cool.
So we started talking about that a couple episodes ago on Patriot there. And yeah, so that showed up, and I got actually an offer from a listener to take me out long distance shooting.
Sweet.
So Tony up in Campbell River, there's a 600-yard range up there. So he's going to take me up there and kind of get me started, and we'll see how that obsession goes.
You should put a rifle in that chassis before you go.
Yep, it'll work.
Well, yeah, see, here it is, waiting to go, but it's just, I need a couple screws done here, and I didn't have time. I ran out of time before the show started to do it, so.
So
Anyway,
what was that you just flashed at us?
that was a Remington 700 SD, or AAC SD
Nice.
in 308.
Mhm.
So, nice big heavy barrel on it. It's what I have. Same thing with the
Proper caliber.
Yeah,
Good.
it's not a hipster caliber, but it is a Vortex Diamondback. It's 4 to 12 by 42.
There you go.
3 to 12 by 42. Sorry. And let's see here. What else did I do in the guns this week? That's pretty much it, I think. I've like I said, I've only been home for a solid day now, and but I'll be home for the next 3 weeks, so it should get better as time goes on.
Yay! So I'm going to take over then. What I did in guns this week on Saturday. Yeah, it was Saturday afternoon. I went to FRPC. We did another IPSC style shooting. A bunch of us got together in the indoor range. We brought somebody new to the range as well, somebody brand new, basically. And she's a fantastic shot. So had lots of fun. I tried my CZ Shadow. Fantastic. Love it. And yeah, so I signed up for the Black Badge course because of it. It was lots of fun. Got rid of that 124 grain X metal, which I was having issues with prior to. I just shot through everything. It was great for doing
remedials.
Yep. And then I tried out that Max Tech that I bought, the 9mm 115. Yeah, it's a 115 grain. Shadow loves it. Had no problems with it. I was expecting problems with it because it is. It's not going to.
Inexpensive.
It's inexpensive. Yeah, it was like $160 for like, I think 1,000. So.
Can I give you my theory on your X metal problems?
Yeah, go ahead.
The bullet ogive on those is a little bit long, and I had issues running those in my Shadow as well.
Okay.
Even my reloads, I couldn't get the bullet seated deep enough to run in a match chamber.
What weight were they, Kelly?
124.
124, yeah. The 124 is typically, if they're not loaded too long, run good in those guns. The 125s, though, 125 is very bulbous. It's almost round nose, like.
Yeah.
And that one is a bitch. You can't load it short enough.
So
the 124 should have been running.
The 124, that whole entire batch that SFRC had, they were getting complaints about it. So it wasn't just my Shadow. Everybody was having issues with it. So I did have some 147 grain, which was running flawlessly through it, but I had gone through all of that. So I switched over to the 124, was having problems with it. And then I just wanted to get rid of it. And then I went to that Max Tech that I had bought a bunch of it. So I wanted to see how that was running. It was fantastic, but I'm not going to be able to use it in IPSC because it's not going to make power factor. So
how do you know? You chronographed it?
I was
power factor with that same stuff.
Yeah, I was told I wouldn't make it. So yeah,
you were told you wouldn't make it.
Yes, I was told I would, and I believe Adriel.
I didn't make power factor with that. Not even close.
Yeah.
What was it? The X Tech?
The Max Tech. It's it's a steel case round with a 115 grain bullet. It's got a step down case inside, so it looks real weird.
Oh, 115.
Yeah, it does. It doesn't it? When you pick up the casings, it looks.
They look
115's got to be flying. Yeah.
So the other thing I did was today I went out and I bought a membership at the Kingston Trap and Ski Club because I'm going to be going on Wednesdays now. And I brought out that new 28 gauge that I have, and it ran fantastic. Love it. Fits perfectly. I shot a round of skeet, and so did better than last time I was there. Didn't do great. I only got 8 clays, but I have problems with. I wasn't getting any coaching with respect to leads and holdovers or holds. But once I started to figure it out, I ended on a high note where I got all four of the clays. So it was fantastic. I loved it. And we're going to go again and again and again until I get really good at it. So,
Kelly, does your eye and your hand dominance match?
Yeah, they do.
You're lucky.
Yeah, the problem. One of the weird things about it is for somebody who's a rifle shooter, it's kind of hard to actually watch the clay and then also where the front bead. So
yeah, pistol shooter, front sight, pick up a shotgun.
I know.
Clay.
So counter, you know what I mean? Anyways, so I was getting the hang of it, and I was also getting a hang of the leads by the end of it. So it was. I said, you know what? I'm gonna like this, and I really, really, really like the 28 gauge. It fits me perfect. So, and it's also going to be really expensive. So I did buy half a case of 28 gauge and it cost me $60. So that's five cases of it, or 5 boxes
Literally
of it.
twice the price. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's going to cost me a little bit to shoot it, especially since I now love my shotgun, and I bought a membership, so
Yeah.
it means I have to go.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but you'll shoot like what 50, 100 rounds every time you head out.
Oof,
Yeah.
No, really?
No, probably 2 rounds.
2 rounds
Two
of
2 to
plays.
3, I would think so.
Two- yeah.
36.
Yeah, that's
2 rounds.
2 to 4 boxes of ammo. You're gonna blow like what $40 in ammo. Who cares?
Yeah.
Somebody there,
Gas.
Kelly, is reloading 28 gauge. You just got to find them and buy reloads from them, or get them to get you started, teach you how to do it.
So yeah, that's about it. I'm done with guns this week, other than doing a lot of stuff with Maple Seed. We're starting out with Ladies' Days as well, talking to people about that. Toronto Sportsman Show is coming up as well, and planning for that. And hello, how you doing there?
Don't mind Ian. He's just going for a walk.
Okay. Adriel, did you want to talk about in the upcoming events the Chaz event that's coming up?
Oh yeah, we've got.
I'll-
yeah, leave me a spot.
Okay, I'll leave it for there.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's go into upcoming events. I'm going to start with TACCOM 2020. TACCOM 2020 is going to be September 11th to the 13th. It's the Canadian Pro Gun Podcasters Network, and we'll be in attendance. So come on over and see us. We'll be on hand throughout the show. So you can stop by the booth. You can meet some of your favorite podcasters, pick up some swag, etc. Ian, you're going to be there, right?
Absolutely, I will.
Fantastic. You can stop by and see Ian as well. Or you can drop by while we're doing our special live broadcast, where we'll be talking to the event organizers. We're going to be speaking to our guest speakers and also our vendors that are going to be there. We're going to be talking to them about the new and must-have products. Okay, so right now there's early bird tickets that are on sale. You click on the link, and the link that we provide is actually the one on our social media pages. Click on that because we get a little bit of a kickback from it. It is once you click on the link, type in early bird 15 off, and you'll get 15% off your tickets right now. Now, those that discount is only until the end of the month, March 31st, and after that, it's full price. So you have to do that before then. Okay. Trevor, why don't you talk about the 10th annual Podcasters Charity Shoot? There's been an update on that.
Absolutely. Registration is live as we speak right now. We have 15 people registered since this afternoon. So the 10th annual Podcast Network Charity Shoot will take place at the Rescuers Gun Club. That's in Balmoral, New Brunswick, on Saturday, the 4th of July. Registration and payment are now open through PractiScore. There are no walk-ons. You need to register ahead of time through PractiScore. That's your only way of attending the event. Pre-registration is mandatory. The event will be a mini steel challenge match. A 22 pistol, you can use 22 pistol, 22 rifle, PCC, or handgun. There'll be a half a round of trap, 12 rounds, and one self-serve pistol bay will be set up all day for you to plink on and just hang out if you have no interest in the steel challenge or in the trap. Also, I need to backtrack here and clarify. Regardless of whether you're shooting or not, but you want to attend the event and come hang out, donate to charity, you need to still go through PractiScore. There's an option when you register on PractiScore that says, I'm not shooting the steel challenge. Go in, select that, pay your money, and show up. And then you can shoot the trap. Trap registration will occur on site. The plinking bay will be an RO there. You just go there and do your thing on your own time at your leisure all day. Smoke in the Water will be providing lunch. That will require cash, so bring folding money for that. Prize table will be a raffle like all the other charity shoots. You buy raffle tickets, you drop them in the cups of the prizes you want to win, so bring cash for that. And when it comes to trap, you have a choice. You can bring your own ammo. If you do, that's to be number 7.5 or 8, or you can buy a box from the club. There's an extra cost for that. It's $8 a box, so bring cash for that. This year's charity is the Rod Harkwell Memorial Fund. So Rodney Harkwell was a member of the community that the gun club is associated with, the town of Dalhousie specifically. And the fund is intended to benefit sick or injured children in the Restigouche region. This includes expenses incurred by families of sick or injured children for medical treatment, testing, equipment, or related travel expenses. You can check out the charity and it's the story of Rod at rodharkwellmemorial.com/Rod-Harkwell Fund. So get out there and register. If you, we often get asked, I'd like to make a donation, but I have no intention of attending the event. It's easier than ever now.
Yep.
Go on PractiScore, use your credit card, pay the $25 registration fee, select I'm not shooting the steel challenge, and then just don't show up. Wish us well. So donating is easier than ever. You can donate or you can attend. It's up to you. So please, it's time to start registering and or donating to the charity. So head on over to PractiScore. Adriel will do the magic thing with the internet and post links, or you do that thing I suggested last week where you knock on Kelly's door and she hands you a piece of paper.
No.
Yeah. And I've already given Gilbert your address, so what could go wrong? I remembered his name this week.
You know what? Thanks. I appreciate it. I'll get pictures.
You're welcome.
All right. Why don't I throw it over to Adriel? Adriel, why don't you talk about the Maple Seed that's going to be happening at Chaz at the end of the month?
Yeah, so we've scheduled out a lot of our Chaz at Chaz and a lot of our Alberta events actually with Maple Seed. They're going out with their respective ranges, and they're going to be posted. Or actually, they have been posted for Maple Seed members. We've got a match coming up at March 28th.
Yep.
That one, it's I think people might be scared because it might be a little bit cold, and it might be. The historical average is right around 6 for that day. But if you feel like braving the potential cold and just layering up, we're going to have a Maple Seed on March 28th, and that should be showing up on Project Maple Seed's website shortly.
Yeah, it's already up, and we've also sent it out to the public as well, and we posted it in various groups. So just click on that link, and you can attend the event. It's fantastic. We're going to get started. Yay, everybody! As soon as I shared it on various links, people were going, "Well, when are you having them in this area? When are you having this area?" I'm going. Don't worry, it's coming. Don't worry, it's coming. But this is just one. It's so close, and we still have some spots left. So we want to sell it out. Some of the other ones that have been released, we're releasing them first to the clubs, and then clubs have a chance to fill them with members, and then we'll release it to the public. But some of the ones that we've already released, they actually are there's a few that still have spots, so we'll release those to the public. But this one in particular, get in because you might not get into the other ones that are happening a little bit later in the year. So just saying. Do it. Also, I just wanted to talk about the EOSC CCFR Ladies Day. Just again, Saturday, July 25th is the date for that. It's a save the date. We don't have the registration for it yet, but we've just want to let everybody know that we partnered, I can't talk tonight, with Vortex Canada, and they're going to be supplying some of the ammo and also the guns there. So that's fantastic. We have, we're got some great giveaways, like fantastic. I love them. We're getting hats and they're fantastic. We're also going to be supporting a local group. Breast Cancer Action Ottawa is going to be receiving all the funds. It's a fundraiser, so they're going to be receiving all the funds from that day's shooting. So if you know any ladies that want to try out shooting, have never shot before, or if maybe they have shot before and they just want to try out other different types of things, because we're going to have some demos as well. IPSC, I think we're doing cowboy action as well as some other things too. So come on by, sign up for it, save the date. When it's released, we'll be promoting it all over the place as well. All right. What else do we got going on here? In the news, let's move on to that. Adriel, you've put this in?
Yeah, I don't know if it's newsworthy, but I just thought it was kind of funny. This Aussie New South Wales minister is potentially going to get some criminal charges. He was at a range shooting a full auto MP5, which is okay everywhere else. So you don't have to have the licensing for the thing to just be able to shoot it at a range, but apparently in Australia you do. And so not just anyone can just pick up one of these guns and shoot it, even if they have more basic licensing. You have to have the licensing for the thing.
For that, for that specific thing?
Yep.
Okay, so he's in trouble.
Yeah.
What party is he from? Do you know?
No, I don't know. And again, it was just a quick little thing that I saw pop up that I thought might be interesting.
I clicked on the link. You have to subscribe to it.
Oh, you didn't have
I
to
mean-
before.
It's like I don't mind that they want to eat their own, but it just goes to show the ridiculousness of how far they've taken their gun control.
Yeah, when you're under the observation of a police officer firing their duty weapon at a range in a safe manner, and it's like facing criminal charges for that. That seems really silly to me.
Oh, I missed the part where he's the New South Wales police minister. So he's actually a police officer. He was shooting a gun, but he's not licensed to own it. So he's going to possibly be charged.
Yeah.
Well, don't think you have to be a police officer to be the police minister.
Yes.
Oh, there you go. Okay, good point. Good point.
Hey, you don't have to be here either.
Still completely ridiculous.
Yes.
Just like our current health minister was a graphic designer before she took the job. So
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. So
That's
we're gonna. Okay, new gun stuff.
The last of the Type 81s are here, and that's it. The manufacturer's permanently shutting down production, so there won't be any more coming into Canada. So if you really wanted one of those, get one, or else you'll have to get them used later. They're right around $900, $1,000, something like that.
Yeah.
Go Big Tactical is bringing in the new March 4-42 by 56. This might as well be what people were recommending to me on Facebook. On Facebook, I'm like, what can I get for $400 or $500? And people were recommending like the PM2 and LCAN and a bunch of stuff that wasn't that price. The March 4-42 by 56 is $5,103. The March 4-42 by 52 is $6,925, and that's Go Big Tactical. So if you're really into your precision shooting, this might mean something to you, and I put it in for you. It doesn't mean anything to me.
He's not. That's not within the $500 range.
No, it's a little bit above.
No.
Yeah,
a little bit, just a little bit.
Speaking of
All right.
little,
Yes.
Tenda is, and these are showing up with other retailers as well. But Tenda's got these mini 22 Mosins made by Keystone. Tendas are $4.99. I saw a couple of other places selling them for a lot more.
Okay.
And they're a baby little 22 single shot that looks like a Mosin.
That is really cute, isn't it? Yeah.
They really look really nice. They're not practical. Like, practically speaking, $500 for a single shot 22 is $400 too much. Yeah.
Especially you get a real Mosin for about half that if you really tried. So
yeah, you can get a real Mosin. You probably wouldn't want to have your kid shooting it though, because
generally not.
No, generally not. And they look really cool. So that's one thing. And this other one, I didn't even know this was a thing. So you guys have heard of the DP12, right? Double barrel pump action shotgun.
Yep.
There is a Turkish knockoff of that thing. Wanstalls is bringing it in for a lot cheaper. It's $1,100, and it's from Hunt Group. It's the MH12, and it's a double barrel pump shotgun.
More awful.
It comes with 10 chokes.
Well, it's double barrel.
You need 5 chokes for each barrel, right?
5 chokes for each barrel.
Yeah,
Yes.
12 plus 2. Oh man.
Somebody's gonna buy it.
My beef with this is the same beef I have with Keltex, where they're sandwiched together like a toy gun, 2 plastic clamshell halves that go together, and in between is a bunch of pins and springs and screws and stuff. And it looks like a toy, and it's complicated to take apart and put together as a toy. So it's very, very reminiscent of a Keltec, and just, not for me. Thanks.
Indeed. Yeah, I'm not going to get it. It is a what would you call it? Maybe not a toy, but like a showpiece or like a weird oddity. It's not.
I would say it's something that's a novelty.
And then this other one, I was talking about a bunch of the different NR AR-10s and AR-15s that we're getting last week. This week, I didn't see this one, but I just found it when I was looking on Maple Ridge Armory's website.
Again, it's Maple Seed Armories.
Yeah, they have a BCL,
Maple Ridge, sorry.
They have a BCL Mark 7 build kit in 6.5 or 308 but it comes with way better stuff. So my issue with just a straight up BCL 102 for $1,200 is that you're getting a BCL barrel and the fore end. I prefer a nicer fore end and that kind of thing. This thing comes with their X1 match barrel and the X1 M-Lock handguard. Both of those are like top shelf components. It doesn't come with a BCG. At least I don't think I see one on the specs page here. Maybe it does. And it doesn't come with a trigger, which is probably actually a good thing because who needs a trigger one on? I consider like AR-10s and AR-15s. You should always just get an aftermarket trigger, anyways. So, no.
No, you get the receiver set that's Cerakoted. You get the barrel. You get the handguard. You get the Defiant brake, and you get the pincer gas block, stainless steel gas tube, an A2 grip
for $1,200.
$1,200, then you just drop in a trigger group.
I wonder what the completed cost would be because I didn't check if they have a BCG. Like you can get a BCG for $150 if you really.
Oh yeah, around. You can get a cheap one out of Cabela's or out of
Brownells.
Brownells, yeah.
Yeah.
The completed rifle with these parts is only 8.5 pounds.
Yep.
Yeah, they were saying that about their last build too. That
I wonder if this one uses because Maple Ridge Armory was making uppers for the Matrix and the BCL. I wonder if this one's going to use their upper that they're making, or if it's just a BCL upper.
It said so right there. I think it's BCL.
I see. Yeah. Anyways, that's a killer price for one of these things. And that's it for new gun stuff.
Sweet. Okay. So why don't we get into the main topic? Our main topic this evening, well, one of them anyways, is we're going to be talking about basically the end of the world.
At this point, Adriel, can you cut in that song? It's the end of the world as we know it.
We know it.
Oh, we got to pay some royalties here. Don't even sing more than that.
Or it's the final countdown. I like that one too.
I love that one. You're
Cypress Hill when the shit goes down. Oh, sorry.
It's a good one too.
Yeah. Okay. So we're going to be talking about prepping. We have an expert on it. Ian's here. So Ian, there's been a lot of things been going on, and what should we be doing? And what should we be stocking up on?
Food. Yeah. Lots of
our friends.
No, so basically, I've been going on with a few friends about this. It's not the actual virus that everybody should really be concerned about, because between the death rate and the fact that you might not get it, and 80% of people aren't even showing symptoms and everything else. It's the supply chain issues, and as we can see, the economic spin-off issues. Because as a general rule, people love to panic, and we just saw how the stock market's an emotionally driven creature right there. So I mean, the business fundamentals didn't change last week, yet the stock market took a plunge. That's a problem, number one. But right now, there's actually a news article I was going to put in my next week's show about how 85% of the cargo traffic from China has finally stopped, because it takes a few weeks for the boats to cross the ocean. They've been in quarantine for a few weeks. Nobody's working in factories. So now you had no cargo ships leaving the harbor. And so now all of a sudden the ships now are in Vancouver Harbor are not showing up. People aren't getting the supplies. So Canadian Tire, Walmart, all the places that rely on their Chinese imports. And an amazing amount of food actually does come from China, whether it be garlic or canned goods or everything else. Obviously, a lot of rice from Asia, but
imitation honey.
Yeah, everything else, all sorts of plastic rice. No, no, it's a big problem. So there's going to be some supply chain issues down the road. But prescription drugs are a huge one because
the generic drugs are made in China.
And even India picks up the slack that China doesn't make, but they get all their active pharmaceutical ingredients from China. Yeah. So because if factories aren't producing the APIs for the pharmaceuticals, India can't make them either. So it's not like India is going to save the day. So yeah, if you have a medical condition that requires medication, I'd get like a 90-day supply while you can. Although I've had a couple of friends anecdotally tell me that they've already been turned down when they're asking. So that's a problem already. But yeah, so I think a lot of people aren't seeing the bigger picture and the fact that down the road here, food is going to be an issue more than anything else. And since toilet paper is made in Canada, I don't recommend people go storming Costco for their toilet paper, although that did happen here locally. Yeah, I know.
Why? Okay, there's no issues. You're not going to have the shits. So
no, coronavirus does not cause the shits. So yeah, I don't know what they're thinking, but I think they're probably thinking this is the one thing they can't live without. But besides food, water, shelter, clothing, means of self-defense, and the
So,
plan.
how much are you going to the washroom if you need like 40 rolls of toilet paper for 2 weeks?
Yeah, and if you actually map it out, you actually don't use a whole lot when you think about it. And so,
But anyways,
So, Ian, let's get into the kind of foods that we should be buying. I bring this up because Christina is been fairly supportive of my quasi prepper lifestyle, and she refers to my cold storage downstairs as the bomb shelter, and she's on board right now. Like, we're going to get cans of gas for the generator. Well, we already have them, but we're going to get some fresh stuff and some more water reserves and small bills, cash and small bills. Not something that we ever keep in the house, but we'll keep some this time around just in case. But I looked at her list and she had a bunch of food that could be frozen. And so I suggested, if this was January, I would be all about buying food that's frozen because I can store it outside and it's still secure even though it's outside. If things really got squirrely and the power went down, right, and we didn't have a second location to go to, we'd have to stay here. Okay, I got no electricity. My freezer downstairs has got huge 4-liter ice jugs in there. So that will help basically turn my freezer into a cooler. It'll help keep the things in there frozen a day or two longer than it would without. And then I could just simply put stuff outside. So I told her, I said, consider canned food, because the canned food, one, we don't need to worry about freezing it, and two, the shelf life is going to be so much better. What's your opinion on that?
Oh, absolutely, 100% agree with that. Shelf-stable items that don't require refrigeration, and the reason behind that is not just extreme paranoia on my part or anything else. It's the fact is that you're going to have somebody that might just have the sniffles. They're going to be told to stay home, and if they happen to work at a power plant, that's a problem. And then you're also going to have the human nature aspect where other guys are afraid to get sick, so they won't show up to work. And whether it be power plant employees or gas employees that work at the natural gas plant or anything else. So I think I don't think you're going to see a long-term power outage, but I think you'll see sporadic ones, and you don't want to have the power go out for 3 or 4 days and lose everything in that freezer because unless you want to have a backup generator and carry like a 55-gallon drum of fuel back there to keep it running, for the odd power outage and stuff. I don't think we're going to see a Mad Max scenario on this one.
Oh, you're breaking my heart.
Yeah,
we'll get to you.
I've got the silver spray paint saved up. That's the one thing I'm stocking is silver spray paint.
Really?
You gotta do the part. Like you wear your ginch.
Well, I thought it'd be the leather.
Spray paint your whole body in silver, and it's frightening for people.
Okay.
He's not wrong.
Yeah,
he's not wrong.
He's got a point.
Yeah. The other thing too about canned food, Ian, is if you don't have access to a camping stove, a barbecue,
you're gonna need
you buy a bag of frozen broccoli. It's not going to be very palatable. A lot of canned food needs to be warmed up, but let's face it, you can eat it out of the can.
Yeah, and you can eat rice as it is too. You just throw rice in a pot of water, leave it overnight, and it self-cooks.
Cold soak it.
Right.
Yeah. Actually, my wife used to do overnight oats as well as a kid. Same idea.
Yep.
I had no idea. This is why you're on.
Yeah, so you don't actually need heat, but if you have a wood stove, I mean, you're in New Brunswick, I'm sure a lot of the houses around there have wood stoves. So, I mean, yeah, you can use that as a secondary cooking thing.
So you're telling me to take over a home with a wood stove? Check.
Yeah.
Next.
Just saying. But be prepared to use almost like a quart a week type of thing to keep warm and cook. So
of course,
yeah.
No, we have. What we did was we bought this place because it didn't have a wood stove. My last 2 places did. We bought a 10,000 watt generator and had a panel put in just for the generator. So just roll the generator outside, turn it on, plug it into the plug outside, and it's secure. It's in a secure location, and as long as I have fuel and oil, I can keep it going.
I just have to find someone else who has that set up.
And hope they're not armed with teeth like I am.
No, we have the guns. They have the generator.
Or if they're painted silver to read fire back or anything else.
Okay.
Ian,
the only problem is, Trevor, before I forget, if you're backfeeding the generator into the lines, do you have a cutoff switch for your house? Or
no, this has been professionally installed by.
Okay, good.
Yeah, it has its own panel.
Yeah, okay. Because I was gonna say, if you're backfeeding it, you could actually damage power workers if you're not careful.
No. It's all professionally done with the proper switches so that you can't pump electricity out into the grid.
Okay, perfect.
So one of the things that I like about Trevor's idea of canned foods is the fact that it's already got moisture or whatever in it. Because you were saying like rice or whatever, you can soak it overnight. But I would rather not take the water that I have and use it for cooking or what have you. So, what's your recommendations with respect to how much water you should be keeping?
Well, excluding cooking, washing, and anything else you might want to do with it,
And pets.
and pets.
Yeah, exactly.
Basically, you should plan for a gallon a day per person. It's
Gallon. We're not in England. All
sorry.
right.
How about 3.8 liters? 3.8
Okay.
liters.
Let's
So
just round it
I
up,
read
4 liters.
recently. You remember a couple of years ago that 72-hour kit the government was pushing?
Yeah.
So I bought that, and Christina was going through the manual in there the other day. I'd never bothered to look at it. Their recommendation was 2 liters per person per day. Does that sound light to you, Ian?
Hello, there we go.
You could
Still
do
there?
it. Yeah, we could.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're still here.
Yeah.
I think you could do 2 liters a day. It's just like it's the difference
Where
between.
did he go now?
He might be.
No, I'm
having
still here.
connection.
Okay.
There he is.
He's in the bunker.
So
Yeah,
Ian,
no,
what
the,
I read was the government of Canada recommended in that 72-hour kit that I got 2 liters per person per day. Adriel's thinking, okay, do you think that's light?
That's really light.
Really?
Because that doesn't take into account cooking. That says 2 liters is what you need to drink to survive for hydration purposes only.
All right.
So, but when you think about like everything from cooking, doing dishes, everything else, you're going to use at least another 2 liters a day. And again, the 72-hour kit's a bit of a misnomer too, because I mean the government can't get anything done in 72 hours. You know.
No,
so,
that kit was a joke. It had a ball of twine and a deck of cards, right?
So yeah, they're not going to come to your rescue in 72 hours and save the day. So you obviously want to plan for a lot longer than that.
Yeah. So let's talk about storing water. There's a couple of different ways to get water. If you live on a property with a well, you're laughing. If you don't, and one is none. And I'm down, I don't have a purification system. I don't have a secondary source. I don't have, water is my weak spot. What I do have though is 100 liters in 10-liter jugs that are square and stackable. And if I had to leave, I could very easily take some with me in the truck. It has an expiration date on it, but I was told by Owen years ago on Slamfire here when we had a prepping episode, the water it will be fine if it was good when it was stored.
Yeah, I mean it's pretty hard to have water go bad on you. It might taste a little bit stale or tepid, I guess is the best term.
Yeah,
but you just give it a little shake, reoxygenate the water, and it's fine.
Okay, so don't worry about it.
Nope.
Because I reorganized it the other day based on date, and I put the oldest stuff at the front, the newest stuff in the back, and as the same as my gunpowder. When I buy it, I date it, and I put the newest stuff at the back, so the old stuff comes up to the front, and I use the oldest stuff first. So I'm doing the same with my water. They were saying don't store water for more than a year in this guide. If it was good going in, it's going to stay good, right?
Yeah, you would think so. And I mean, there is actually some water storage techniques you can use. Obviously, bleach on a very, very low dilution. You can actually use like an activated oxygen, like liquid oxygen, as they call it, basically. And it's something you can throw in the water there as well. But honestly, just plain old tap water will do, especially if it's chlorinated. Be more than fine.
Yeah.
But honestly, secondary source. I mean, anything from like water
Snow.
out of a river nearby or anything. Has anybody got anything like that? Like you said, I think Trevor, you said you had a well, right?
No. That's what I'm saying. I don't have any of that anymore.
I got a bunch of snow in my backyard.
just avoid the yellow stuff. You'll be fine.
Yeah. Boil it.
And a river.
During the Y2K scare, my plan was to drive home to the old farmhouse. And my rationale was people lived in the farmhouse before the technology of Y2K, before electricity. It's 150 years old. Had a root cellar, had a wood stove, had a well. That was my plan, was to go there. And he froze on us again. I got no internet in BC or what?
I don't know.
Yeah.
So we've already had almost like a prep for this when we had a few years ago here in my area. We had the ice storm where people were without power for up to 5 weeks, and then we also had after that we had where the whole eastern. Actually, you probably were affected by it too, Trevor. Where the eastern Canada and the U.S. A squirrel fried one of the things down the US, and we didn't have any power for, I think it was actually close to 4 days. And then we had roving brownouts as well. So during that time, things like freezers. We got into the whole thing with respect to all of our stuff that was in the freezer, having to use a barbecue, and just basically going through all of our emergency storage. What?
You just gave me something else to add to the list. Got to make sure my propane tank is full.
Okay. So yeah, so that's what some people were doing. Ian was talking about a generator. When we had that ice storm, people were bringing the generator in the house. Don't do that. And it caused issues, obviously, carbon monoxide poisoning, and that.
Well,
So right now,
Darwin doing his work.
yeah, right now, I could probably go without heat here because we were in a little bit warmer temperatures. But Adriel, you couldn't. You'd have to have a heat source.
No. If the power went out for any appreciable amount of time, I would be packing up and leaving.
Yeah, you're going to your dad's.
Yeah, and then I'll
piece cake
and to hang out there and start a wood fire and go shoot a deer and
Yep. No, you're laughing.
Salt
you
it,
go.
jerk it.
Yep.
Well, that's one of the reasons I like living where I do, because it's even right now I think it's 10 degrees out, which is good.
Yeah, shut up, Vancouver Island.
Yeah.
I don't like to show off. Yeah, you want to talk about mortgage payments compared to?
Hey, it's not Vancouver; it's Vancouver Island. It's the difference.
That's what I said. Yeah. Well, yeah, it's still probably 3 times mine, but anyway. Okay, so what else should we be doing? And again, like, it's not the zombie apocalypse, but the look, Italy is in lockdown. Yep. The Trump is supposed to go on the air shortly, if he hasn't already done it, today on March 11th, to declare a national state of emergency. Vancouver, or BC's had 1 death, and New Brunswick has 1. What's the term that you present? Presumptive?
Yeah. Presumptive case, yeah.
Yeah. So we've got 1 presumptive case so far. So in my case, people are going to start panic buying. We were going to wait till Friday because Friday's payday, but I think we're going tomorrow to do our own panic buying. Jump the gun here while there's still stuff on the shelves.
Well, like, how long do you need to last for? 2 weeks?
No, I'd say a solid month, because look at all the quarantines have gone at least 2 weeks, but there is pretty good evidence out there that the I guess, how do you say, the dormant rate or the dormant time on the disease can be up to 14 days before you even show symptoms. Mm-hmm. In which case, you might be, contagious the whole time. So they might up that quarantine number a little bit. So I plan for at least a month. But let's face it, we haven't stopped flights coming in from Italy until yesterday, I think it was, and we still have 4 flights a day coming in from China every day into Vancouver. Iran flights are still coming into Montreal. It's it's going to be here too, right? Like, it's not like just the U.S. is going to have an emergency and we won't. Mm-hmm. Right. So it's coming. It's not really a conspiracy theory at that point. I think it's a conspiracy fact.
Right. So they declared it today. The World Health Organization declared it as a pandemic now.
Pandemic, yeah.
Yeah. And right now, Canada currently has 93 cases that are active, 14 in Alberta, 4 in Quebec, 39 in British Columbia, and Ontario has 36. Now, Trevor, you were saying that there was 1 added for New Brunswick?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So this hasn't been updated. 79% of those are over 40. By the way, the over 40, that's considered old, and those are the most susceptible. 55% are all female. So I'm
toast.
Toast.
I'm safe.
Yeah, the rate of mortality doesn't climb until I think you're over 60, and then it goes up to it's like a 16 or 18%. It's crazy.
Yeah, so it's an older person's people with they said people with diabetic who are diabetic, who have respiratory or heart issues. Those are the ones that are become the most ill, and those are the ones that are passing, basically.
So what kind of firearm should you be using in this?
Well, it depends. If you're at your dad's place, I want to make sure you have a deer hunting rifle and at least a 22 for rabbit. You got to supplement that food storage by getting some rabbit on rice and some venison rice. I mean, why not stretch out your food stores, right?
Rabbit, squirrel, small game. Yeah, maybe a deer, maybe a coyote. Would you eat a coyote?
Why not?
I think I would.
If you were hungry enough, you would.
Even if I wasn't hungry, just for sport.
Just for sport.
Right. This is Adriel.
Eating crazy animals is what got us into this, though, wasn't it?
Right?
What's come is gone, and now it's time to turn over a new leaf and eat some other weird stuff. And I think that I'm the guy to do it. So. I just need a little bit of an excuse before I eat coyote. If with a no excuse, it's like, nah, I'm not gonna eat that. But like a little bit of an excuse, like, oh, you gotta stretch out a fruit store. It's like, yeah, coyote, definitely.
Is that before or after the neighbors then?
I guess it depends which shows up in the scope first.
No.
Too dark.
Actually, I was talking with another guy, and we were saying basically, like, right now, if you had a 22 right now, you don't need to supplement your food storage. I think there's enough rabbits around in most parts of Canada that you could probably take care of business. There's enough invasive species. Usually, everywhere you go, there's an invasive species of some sort that even the CEOs won't care if you shoot. So, if you really want out and want to supplement stuff, you could.
Okay, so let's go through a list for the listeners, a shopping list. I'm going to the store tomorrow. You guys call out items that I need to survive for the next 30 days, and I'll add it to my list. Let's make this an exercise here. So I'm going to add more water. You were saying 2 liters per day. That's 4 liters that I need per day because there's 2 of us. Actually, there's cats too, so, well, they can have a little bit of our 4 liters, I guess. But call it, well, what if we said 5 liters a day? Because that 2 liters a day is light, right?
Well, what's wrong with getting a couple Home Depot buckets and just filling up your taps ahead of time and doing it a lot cheaper, and then having like a water filter afterwards?
Well, I do have lots of buckets downstairs, 5-liter buckets that I could fill up. The second I thought things were really bad, I could fill them up, and I could use those for bathing, cooking, flushing toilets. So drinking water only, 5 liters a day, 30 days. Whatever, it's not expensive. I've already got, call it 150 liters of water for a month.
Yep. Well, and the other thing that you could look into is like a Sawyer squeeze or something like that water filter that'll just do like a liter or 2 at a time, and those are super easy to use. If you got any rainwater, are you gonna have to be mobile? Are you gonna have to move away from your place and go somewhere else?
I don't know yet.
The best thing to do at this point would be bug in, because that's what the government's going to tell you to do as well, is just shelter in place or self-isolate. So I would plan to stay in the house, because unless somebody's coming for your food and you're not willing to shoot back, you're staying put.
Yeah, that's my plan, is to ensconce.
Yeah, and
do you have food and that kind of thing, Trevor?
Well, I do, but
that's where we're going with the list.
I just sent you a list, Trevor, what we did with our last episode, where somebody asked us if we had a $500 budget to start prepping, how we'd spend it. So I gave you a $500 breakdown just in your Facebook message there.
Okay, so let's. Why don't we share that? Is that all right?
Sure. Yeah. So I'll just read it out to you if you want.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yep. So for $500, basically, it came down to 3 bags of rice, and this is going to get basically 1 person for a solid month, 2 people for 2 weeks. So 3 bags of rice, which is 75 pounds. That's going to come up the biggest expense at $93. Steel cut out, so you can get 2 bags at Costco for $26. Lunch, if you go to Walmart right now before the panic buying hits, you can get pretty much $1 a can for anything from canned vegetables, soup, or beans, like brown beans. $25, or sorry, $25 gets you a 24-pack. Dinner, you can get some canned chicken at Costco, canned tuna, corned beef, canned ham, click, Spam, whatever you want. We figured out 30 cans was $54 at Costco and Superstore. You're going to want an instant coffee in order to stay sane, especially for people like myself that require coffee. Salt, sugar.
Instant.
Well, it's better than
time,
nothing,
isn't it?
Yeah, without power, you can still make it, right?
Oh man. Yeah.
So after the salt and sugar to spice up that squirrel or coyote, or you might have to shoot, you're gonna have to get some salt and sugar. That runs about $1 a kilo for either one of those. I did actually have 24 rolls of toilet paper before it was cool in this list. So I had 24 rolls of toilet paper, $17 at Costco, but they're all sold out. I went there yesterday to check it out. Cases of water. If you're in an apartment building or whatever, you can get like 48 bottles for $6, I think, at Walmart. But I think Costco's cheaper. Let's see here. What else did we talk about for actual gear? The Sawyer Mini water filter. So Adriel mentioned the squeeze, but if you get the mini, you can actually use it like an IV bag. You can put it in line with what do you call those hydration packs on your backpack. You can do all sorts of funny stuff with the Sawyer Mini, and it works great. It's good for thousands and thousands of gallons. I'd get a couple jerry cans of gas. So get the 2-pack of jerry cans at Costco for $26 and fill them up. So probably runs a total of about $75, depending on your gas price. Because I mean, again, gas delivery requires truck drivers who may be sick. You might not have gas delivery. So, if you need to get somewhere bad and the gas station is closed, you want to have that option too, right? Let's see here. I had a solar battery solar charger and battery for $60 off Amazon, because I mean, if you want to recharge your cell phone, which is the only means you have of communicating with the outside world, it's just something. It doesn't require a generator then. Some basic knives. I'm more a companion, which is like $20, and it's just basically a high value, low cost item. A couple. I laugh about this one now. The single or the double A LED flashlight. Usually get those $5 a piece, and they take one AA battery, and they're great little things, but they're of course made in China, so you probably won't get them now. But batteries at the dollar store in Costco. If you need a 12-pack of batteries, the last thing you want to do is run out of batteries for whatever everything's closed up. A couple packs of Strike Anywhere matches. Costco sells a great first aid kit for $29, which is a little bit of everything. Nothing fantastic, but it'll get you started. Costco still has rubber gloves. I checked yesterday, so 100-pack of nitrile gloves already $9. Pool shock. So instead of buying bleach, you can buy a pound of pool shock. I can give you a link to a video as well on how to make pool shock into bleach, and it'll last you forever for one bag for $5. And make thousands of gallons of bleach out of it, and it doesn't go bad. So there is that.
That's cool.
Yeah. Let's see here. Make sure you get hand soap. It doesn't have to be antimicrobial or anything else. It can be any normal hand soap, because even my daughter was actually explaining it to me. Antimicrobial soap doesn't work on viruses, right?
No, it doesn't.
So all the hand soap does is it obviously cleans your hands, but it also breaks down the bonds of the RNA of the virus and kind of makes it inert, but you still have to wash it off as well. And that's where the hand soap comes in. And that's it. That came to $499.
Wow.
I didn't hear any silver spray paint mentioned in there.
Well, you said you already had it, so.
Or ammo.
You need spikes on whatever. Like if you have a car, it needs lots of spikes on it. Neck spikes. Spikes are in. I think in the eventuality that the world goes to heck.
Well, leather and spikes, right? You got a couple of.
I was gonna make the leather. Like I have a bunch of salt.
Oh.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It rubs the lotion on its skin.
I'm determined to take this way darker than everyone else is trying to take it right now. It's not working, but I'm gonna try.
Yeah.
So like have enough stuff for a month. It sounds like in-house. Some of the things you mentioned there were really interesting. The ability to purify water would be a good one, because if everyone at the water place goes down and they're not able to get it back up and running, you might go for a while without clean water,
Right.
or refrigeration. Actually, a bunch of salt would be nice, because if you have a bunch of meat in your freezer and all of a sudden the power goes down, just salt the heck out of that stuff and you're good to go, right?
Yeah, that's where like $1 a kilo, you can't go wrong, really.
Yeah.
I mean, another thing people don't really take into account too is that, again, this virus isn't going to kill everybody, but it sure is going to tie up the ICUs and the emergency rooms.
Yeah.
And already, as we know, the healthcare system is built on waiting times, right? And they're already running at capacity or a little over capacity. So if you have a couple thousand patients in a province overwhelming the system, if you break a leg or get a big cut that requires stitches, you can show up, but you're probably not getting any service. So I would actually emphasize a little bit of first aid.
You know what?
Yep.
I got an MRI scheduled on Friday morning. I'm canceling it. I'm not going anywhere near a hospital right now.
Well, people don't go to hospitals to get better.
Right.
Yeah. That's why most people, when they go to hospitals, they get sicker.
If you don't get that MRI on Friday, you're going to be waiting like a long time to get that rebooked, aren't you?
Yeah, I've already been waiting a really long time.
Why don't you do it while everything is still running and still up and...
It's actually not a bad time. Like, 'cause nothing's overwhelmed yet. There's not like patients waiting outside in line. I'd get it done anyway.
Fine. All right.
Cool.
If I get the corona, I'm coming back to shoot you guys.
Okay.
You won't survive.
You just have to isolate yourself for 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Or longer, but it's according to a lot of these government announcements, they seem to say they're going to be paid time at home. So maybe it's a good thing. I don't
How
know.
do you pay everyone for 2 weeks at home?
Exactly.
Just borrow more money.
Where's the
Oh,
money coming?
God.
Where's the money coming from?
There's
There's
plenty-
no one paying their taxes. They're not getting
Money
paid.
they were going to
Okay.
use the money they were going to use for the gun buyback, man. That
It's
now has
never
to be
stopped.
allocated to this.
It's never stopped them before from not having money.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Ian, is there anything else that you would recommend people have? Like they must have, must go out and get now?
AR-15, 3,000 rounds of ammo, 50 magazines or more. Actually, 2
Yeah.
AR-15s, right?
Friends
Level-
with out in the-
level 4.
yeah.
Yeah. Veterans. What is
Plates.
it? Veterans manufacturing helmets and all that stuff. No, honestly, a support network would be great. So if you can get somebody to help deliver food to your front door, if you can't or whatever, that'd be one thing. If you want to arrange with a couple other people that
Yep.
if you get isolated and I don't, I can help you or whatever. So mutual assistance groups would be great. But honestly, just food right now and a means of entertainment, deck of cards, board games, cell phone. Because if you are stuck at home, a lot of people will go stir crazy because they're not used to it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And not having the social interaction will actually affect a lot of people. But that's all I got. But honestly, yeah, food more than anything else right now.
Cool.
Awesome. Thanks, man.
Okay. So, let's get on with the rest of the show then.
Just
Listener feedback.
Leave a cut for the other main topic.
Yeah, next main topic.
And the main topic, part 2.
Hi, everyone. We have a second topic for this evening's episode as well. We're pleased to have Deneen Tomlin from Ladyguns join us. I just wanted to say thank you for coming on, Deneen. Tell us a little bit about yourself. We're going to explain exactly what Ladyguns is, but that's going to be part of the interview as well. So why don't you tell us about you, your history with shooting, and about how Ladyguns came to be.
Sure, absolutely. Thank you. My pleasure to join you guys tonight. Thank you for the invitation. So I'm a farm kid from BC, grew up hunting, shooting, and fishing like many do. And so I think my first firearm was my dad's .22 rifle, shooting bottle caps sitting at a picnic table. So I think that's a pretty common story for farm kids. But my parents also shot traps. So my brother and I got stuffed in the bunker to set traps. And so we had lots of opportunity to work on our sibling relations while trapped in there. So so we had lots of opportunity to hang out and hang around with the great people that shot trap. And then my dad was into hunting, and he did a lot of hunt guiding, and so of course that was an element of it as well. So that was all part of it. And then I decided nobody wants to be a farm kid. So I took off to the big city. And it wasn't until 8 years ago that I was reintroduced to shooting when I was invited out on a shooting date at a sporting clays facility in Carstairs, Alberta.
Okay.
So I understand, Kelly, you've got the bug for shooting shotguns as well. So
I do.
Yeah, good for you. So same thing. You see that clay explode, and you get the bug. So I got into that, and I got into it in a big way. And I bought a used Beretta 391 Technics in 12 gauge, and I got into competing, and I was able to pay for the whole gun with my winnings within my first season.
Oh, awesome.
And it was super cool. So then I thought, well, I got to take this farther. And I took the NSCA Level 1 instructors course and found out I was the first female in outside of the USA that had taken it, which was shocking to me. And so then we started a ladies' night fun drop-in thing, and that's where Ladyguns started at the Sporting Clays Club. And of course, the bug for shooting ended up expanding, and I went out and shot some pistol, and I got my black badge, shot some IPSC. Thought, well, now I got to get into 3-gun. Got myself a carbine, and the list goes on. So I'm 2 gun safes in now, and PRS is next, I think.
Okay, so you're fully invested in this then.
I am 100% fully invested in, yeah. And I keep telling my 10-year-old son the guns that I'm buying are for him, but they're not.
Okay.
Well, those PRS rifles take up a lot of safe in the space, like 2 or 3, and it's like, well, that's all you can hold in there.
Yeah.
So then I get another safe, right?
Yeah,
you're right.
Just keep
and then you can fill it with even more.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's kind of in a quick summary. Yeah, and so I
Okay.
spend evenings, weekends, and all the time kind of getting
Yeah,
into it.
you're quite well known in the Alberta region with respect to getting ladies into shooting and events that are happening. Now, the reason that we actually are having you on the show is because our show sponsor, the Calgary Shooting Center, is actually partnering with you right now about getting some Lady Gun events happening. So let's talk a little bit about Lady Gun. How long has it been running? Where are you based out of, and about the events as well. So how long has Lady Guns itself been around?
Sure. Well, it started as that fun sporting clays gathering about 2014, and so
Okay.
we gave it a Facebook page and called it Ladyguns, and so it very very grassroots, and it was just about a bunch of women that wanted to get together and shoot and have sociable moments afterwards. So we had some wine and some cheese and some fun.
That's the best
And
part.
yeah, right,
Shooting
exactly.
and wine. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
and then we talked about all those kind of fun gun things that girls like to talk about, like what's in your gun bag and where did you get that great shooting vest and stuff like that. So then after I got into that whole pistol side of things, I realized how many women were really excited to learn how to shoot pistols,
Yeah.
and they find them a bit harder to get into. And so because I shoot multiple disciplines, and a lot of girls they say, can I come out with you? Or a lot of guys say, would you take out my girlfriend, my wife, my daughter?
Yeah.
It ended up that we thought it was a good thing to just start ladies night. So we started ladies night at some of the clubs, and as you said, the Calgary Shooting Center has agreed to let us start hosting at theirs. So we're having our first Lady Guns event at the Calgary Shooting Center on St. Patrick's Day, and we're half sold, and we're looking forward to all the women that are going to come out and enjoy the Calgary Shooting Center's facilities and all the fun.
Okay. When you talk about half sold, how many people do you typically, or how many women typically do you have on the firing line? How many instructors do you have?
So thanks for asking. The range usually has 6 lanes, and so we like to run 2 lines. So we only sell 20 spots,
Okay.
and that way we can manage. And the other thing I like to let the ladies know, especially those that are apprehensive that perhaps don't have their RPAL, don't have any kit, they just show up. And it's a women-led initiative. So the range officers, the ROs are all women, and we have women instructors on site. So it's something the guys like to try and sneak into, but really it's for women by women.
Okay. So you don't need a PAL, you don't need any experience, you don't need any equipment. Okay.
No.
Who provides that? Do you provide that, the equipment, the ammo?
The ammunition is something that they purchase based on consumption, and the gear is either rental gear or we all have extra pistols, it appears. Okay. So we bring some of our gear, and that way they get a chance to try revolvers and 1911s and whatever, dual action, everything.
So what type of shooting is it? Is it just pistol, or are you going to be able to come out and try out rifles and shotguns, sporting clays, that type of thing, or is it just strictly pistol? So
for Lady Guns across the board. So the Calgary Shooting Center night is pistols, and sometimes we bring in some 22 rifles or some things like that. The intention of Lady Guns, Kelly, is to expose all of the different platforms and opportunities. So last year we had pistol nights. We had a shotgun course on clays. We did a precision long range course that was all ladies. We have some fabulous instructors that have stepped up to offer their time and their ranges and their gear. So we're super fortunate. So the sky's the limit. We'll put on everything, and then we'll have a wine and cheese social after.
That's awesome. Okay. So your instructors, they are all from those specific sports as well. They've gone through the training process for instructing that type of thing as well. Okay.
Yes. And so we're not women all across the board yet. I don't know of any PRS women instructors, but I am looking for some ambassadors to come. We've also had a big request and interest in archery. So I guess if it goes down range, we're going to get into it. So there's interest in that as well.
Okay. Can you tell us about the different events that are, I know you're going to be at Calgary and you're going to do that frequently. Where are some of your other events that are taking place?
Right. So, Sporting Clay's facility is in Carstairs, which is it's just outside of Calgary. Of course, down in De Winton at the south end, we have the AHIA Center where we participate in the ladies' nights, and they have trap and skeet.
Okay.
So we have outdoor ranges out in Kananaskis and south the Milo Range, which is a range that is been set up by the Calgary District Target Shooters Association. At Christmas, we had a Frosty Fingers Family Fun Day, rimfire range only, kids, cookies, red and green steel targets. It was lots of fun. So we're all over the place. The instructors are specific. Now, myself and my partner, Casey Gavinchuk, are both NSCA Level 1 shotgun instructors. And so we work with that. We do have a few other women that are also instructors there. And there are some great guys that are in the PRS realm and in the pistol realm that we're working with. And if all goes well and we get the chance to talk after July, hopefully I'm telling you that I've passed the FBI qual and I am a pistol level 1 instructor myself. So.
Awesome. Fantastic. Yeah. So I didn't hear really anything up and a little bit higher up Edmonton, northern Alberta. So it's a little bit on around the Calgary area, basically.
It has been around the Calgary area based on feedback, but we're happy to go north and looking forward to checking out what this maple seed stuff is all about. And we've actually the fellas that help us with our long range stuff, they're up in the northern area, so they've got a range up there. So it's definitely the long range is where you have distance, so it pushes us out a little bit more. But yeah, we're in Calgary, and so a lot of our activities now are currently Calgary. The intention is to build an ambassador base and be able to find other like-minded women and just keep duplicating so that we can grow and move around the province and even outside of the province. So.
Okay, and that's fantastic. You haven't branched out into BC or Saskatchewan yet, though, right?
Not as Ladyguns events, no, but I shoot in Canada, the US, and the UK. So I tell everybody that we're coming. I just haven't got there yet.
Yeah. You can't clone yourself. Well, no. You kind of can train other people, but yeah, you can't clone yourself
yet. Right.
Okay. So these events, how much do they cost somebody to sign up, and where can they sign up?
All right. So everything has different price points right now. Our pistol nights are $25 plus the cost of ammo. The $25 gets you your eyes and ears, your PPE, and access to a rental gun. And then, like I said, based on consumption, some girls like to shoot a couple mags and some like to shoot a couple boxes. So, we've had a lot of girls that split a box of ammo first night out, and then they don't want to share the next time out. We have a lot of repeat ladies come. So the price of that, and then in the PRS, of course, a full day of long range instructions in the hundreds of dollars. So I would suggest checking out ladyguns.ca, which is where our events are posted. And then we also are super happy to cross post anything, including all the events that you guys might be involved in. Wherever there's something that women and youth can participate in, we will post it and encourage people to attend.
Fantastic. Okay. So your suggestion is so if somebody does want to sign up, they go to your website, or can they go to your Facebook page?
Yes, they can get a hold of us through Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, and our website itself. And the registration information is set up on the website, and all the others just direct you to the website.
Okay, perfect. So they don't need any equipment. They don't need a PAL. They don't need any experience. But what do you suggest these women bring? Any particular like clothing type or anything like that? Do they need anything prior to coming in?
Teachable attitude?
Right.
Teachable attitude is good. Yeah.
Teachable attitude. We encourage no low-cut tops because hot brass hurt. You find that out the first time. It gets warm in there, so we tell everybody to dress in layers so they can adjust accordingly. And ball caps, because hot brass bounces off the top when you've got 6-8 lanes running and everybody's having fun. There's brass flying. So we just encourage that. Comfortable shoes. it's interesting because we get all types, all sizes, all kind of people, all ages. So we've had a group of girls from the University of Calgary come out to celebrate a birthday. We had a mother and daughter come, and then we've had everything in between. Lots of corporate ladies as well. So
Okay. Now, if somebody is interested in taking this into their area or even province, are you open to that? So if somebody comes down, trains with you, and is looking to maybe hold an event and franchise, yeah,
sure, absolutely. Thank you for asking, Kelly. I would love to talk to people about that, and actually, if you'll indulge me, what we've been doing lately is talking to a lot of the fishing game clubs and some of the other gun clubs who are hosting or want to host ladies and youth events, and they want to collaborate. And so I just spoke with the Calgary Fish and Game Club yesterday. Of course, I've already mentioned Ahia. Buffalo Target Shooters has their Annie Oakley, so we've reached out to them. I'm a member at the Calgary District Target Shooters Association, so we're working on some stuff that hopefully we'll be able to post there. So there's a lot of opportunity to collaborate and work with other groups. And if there's a small group of women somewhere that have been getting together, I would love to meet and connect with them. I think if I did the math, there's about 267,000 women in Canada with PALs and RPALs. So
yeah, and it's growing every day.
Yeah. So
it's fantastic.
I'd love to connect with them.
Fantastic. Okay, so if you'd love to connect with them, again, how can they contact you?
So they can find us first and foremost at ladyguns.ca.
Okay.
On Instagram, I am Ladygun YYC. Feel free to take a peek there, and we are on Facebook, and we are Ladyguns on Facebook as well. So it's easy to find us. And somebody told us Pinterest is the way to go these days. So
really?
We've set up a Pinterest account, a Pinterest page. But when I figure out how to use it, I'll get back to you and let you know how it works.
Yeah, I have one. I'm not very active on it. Yeah. Maybe it's because I'm old. Okay. Adriel, do you have any questions for Deneen?
No, I was just adding her on Instagram here, and it sounds really good. I mean, one of the things that we've talked about on the show is getting more youth, more lady shooters in as well, just to help spread the word of the sport, get more people in it. And I think that having these ladies specific events is a good way of doing it because you can tailor the event very specifically. So
exactly.
Yeah,
I agree. That's fantastic. I always say you got to see it to be it. So I was chatting with Tracy Wilson from CCFR a couple weeks ago, and I said, we got to have women on the line. We got to have women ROs. When women can see other women leading the charge, then they realize it's not that hard to get involved and become part of it. And when women are showing other women, oh, this is my new pistol, and why do you shoot a 1911? I've got a Glock. You start really becoming comfortable with the whole process, and it starts becoming fun.
Absolutely. Yeah. I believe wholeheartedly in it. Yeah.
Me too.
Yeah. So is there anything that we didn't cover that you'd like to mention?
Well, I think you've done a great job of asking all those important things that everybody wants to know out there as far as getting involved and how to get involved. But the one thing I really like to encourage is echoing your comments about getting women and youth. I think in today's culture with guns being a hot button subject, especially in Canada, where we have such a rich culture and history of guns in our lives, because of Canada being a hunting, fishing kind of culture, and now the sports coming on. I just think it's really important for women to understand. I don't think that it's for everybody, but certainly if you understand what the rules are and what it takes to become a gun owner and how restricted it really is, and then you come out and you give it a try. I think then more families will be involved and perhaps participating, and we'll have greater opportunities at the Olympics, and we'll have more patience at gun clubs. And I think if women and youth are participating, it becomes a richer sport and a more patient sport. And hopefully there'll be a little bit less politics at some of those gun clubs.
I also agree with that as well.
Yeah,
So,
thank you.
we need to get more women, and we need to get the youth into shooting, because if not, we're not going to survive as a sport, basically.
Absolutely. And the moms let the kids go, or they don't. So we got to get the moms to let the kids go anyway.
Yeah.
So,
Are you finding just what I'm finding with ladies events that we host, they generally sell out quite quickly, and women are super excited about it, and they want to bring all their friends. Are you finding those with your events as well?
I do. And actually, another interesting point that brings up is we've got such great encouragement for women to get out there, and these gun clubs put on their annual Get Out and Shoot event. So what happens once you've got out and have had a chance and you've got the bug? Where do you go next? And so that's really why Ladyguns became a thing, was because women were like, oh, I went to the Annie Oakley, or I went to the Ladies Learn to Shoot, but I don't want to wait a year to get out again for a ladies event. So I decided that we would just keep putting these on and see who showed up, and how often they wanted to come out, and what sports they wanted to try. And it's been just absolutely fantastic.
Awesome.
So it's about giving. It's like having a ladies' night in any other sport, whether it be bowling or golf. This is just a chance for people to get out and get together. It becomes a social club around a common interest, right?
Yeah, and you can add those things, those special things, make it special for women, whether it's through, as you said, wine and cheese afterwards. Our ladies' events, we tend to actually bring cupcakes, that sort of stuff. Just make it fun. Women are going to have a fantastic time. And then they're going to tell their friends about it, and their friends are going to tell their other friends about it. A last question with respect to, you're saying that they've gone to a ladies' event and then they wanted to come to your event. Are you finding that are you able to help them to get into courses to get their PAL? Or are you finding that there's a transition from these fun events that they're having to the PAL course?
There's a lot of interest in the PAL course after they take one or two of these things. I do find that they certainly ask where, and I'm happy to refer to some of the great places they can take their PAL, our PAL, in and around Calgary. The only thing I find is that they always say they're gonna, but they don't wanna, because it's tough to do. You gotta register, and you gotta get your foot through the door, and you gotta sit in that class. And so maybe that's the next thing, Kelly. Maybe we'll see women's PAL RCAL courses led by women. Maybe we'll fill them up. I know it's been tried, but maybe we'll see.
What we're seeing right now is we're seeing like almost half and half men, half women in these courses. I was asking about actually having an all women, and the research that I did was we can't really actually restrict it. But it is something, promote it and absolutely fill it up with women, because as I said, I believe that if you get women in, we'll get the kids in. We'll also actually, continue our sport as well.
Absolutely. I think it's you've probably both experienced it. I think it's amazing when you see a woman that's really hesitant, concerned, even a little bit scared.
Yeah.
And she sends lead down range or in the air. She punches a hole in paper, sees a clay target explode, and all of a sudden she's this like self-empowered woman, and she's got this look on her face. And there's often a lot of squealing, like in a good way, like very happy, excited.
Yeah.
Right. Exactly. And so to know that people have gone home in that frame of mind is pretty cool.
It's nice to convert them. I had one event that I went to, and the lady came, and I was ROing the AR-15 stage, and she was extremely apprehensive. She was actually to the point where she was almost crying. We went over it. I told her she didn't have to shoot it if she didn't want to shoot it, but we went over it. And she actually said, no, I'm going to shoot it. And she shot it. And then by the time we were done the event, we couldn't actually we were closing everything up and she was still shooting the AR-15. And that's where we changed those minds. So these types of events, you're coming out and doing these in the Calgary area and, and a little further around Alberta is really important. So changing those minds, especially, with women and men, is important. So, yeah.
Thank you very much. Yeah, we look forward to connecting all the provinces and being able to see some larger women's events. And I know that we don't need to all be competitive. We can just have fun events too. So Absolutely. Yeah.
Right.
So
Yep.
Thank you very much for giving me the opportunity to share Ladyguns with you guys today.
Okay.
And hopefully we'll get a chance to meet soon. I know you're going to be at TACCOM in the fall. And it was a great event last year. And I look forward to being there again this year. So
fantastic. I'll seek you out. Now, again, just to wrap up, if anybody is interested, they can contact you through the website. But not only that, just go on out on St. Paddy's Day. Anything special happening for St. Paddy's Days afterwards?
Like green cupcakes or green beer?
Sure.
You mean? Well, I haven't got anything planned, but now that you've given me an idea, perhaps I'll do something great. Yeah.
All right.
Are there green tip bullets? I don't know. Do we have any green tip bullets?
There are, well, I don't know, you're the one, but
Ballistic tip.
There's green tip. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So if there's still spots available on the line, we're going to post a poster that you've created for the Calgary shooting event. We'll post that on our site as well. And if anybody has questions and they can't actually get to you, we'll refer them over to you.
Perfect. Thank you very much. Yeah, we're planning it. Thank you very, very much. I do appreciate it.
All right.
Thanks.
Thank you again for coming on, Deneen. Fantastic.
My pleasure. Look forward to talking to you guys again sometime soon.
All right.
Okay. Bye.
Bye. All right. Thanks, everybody, for coming on tonight, both Ian and also Deneen. Great topics, great discussion. Going to prep for everything, make sure that we're all prepared. Why don't we get into listener feedback? Listener feedback is brought to us by, it's sponsored by Armory DC Gunsmith. Armory DC Gunsmith is a full-service gunsmith who specializes in firearms refinishing. He offers hot bluing, parkerizing, Cerakote finishes, as well as wood refinishing. Check out his online inventory of new and used guns, firearms, accessories, optics, and more at dcgunsmith.ca. You can also check him out on Instagram and also on Facebook as well. Trevor, why don't you read this one?
Because I'm not sitting on my computer
Just
anymore.
stepped away.
Exactly.
I'll get it.
Okay.
Good on you, Kelly. The 12-gauge shotgun is the sports car of the clay target world. I know Trevor's poo-poo the sub-gauge gun, but when is his opinion on the classier sporting shoots worth anything? For proper skeet competition, you need 410, 28, 20, and 12. But if you're able to fund the ammo, and you government employees seem to have all the money to buy all the gun stuff, the 28 is awesome. It swings fast, no recoil, and is adequate for rabbits or pheasants.
Awesome.
Trevor recommends the Lee Loadall, the man with the Dylans at home, and sometimes host on the Reloading podcast, and purports to know something about reloading, recommends the chintziest reloading gear since hand rolling and ladle dipping powder. That's from Jason. I think he's got a picture of...
Yeah.
I don't know what this is. It's got a P on it. I don't know what this is.
He sent me a message.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. He said that what I need is a Winchester HS hulls, clay busters, wads, 3/4 ounces, universal clay powders. Get a book. That's what he said. But Mech Jr. He says.
Mech Jr. I see. So maybe this is a mech that he's showing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jason knows his shotguns, so.
Yeah, he does actually. Yeah. All right. I don't want to read this one, so because it's long. How about you, Trevor? Now.
No. But the photo of the press that he posted is of a progressive press. It's quite fancy pants.
It is a fancy pants one.
I have a single stage. It's like a junior, but it's a step up from the junior. It's a Load Master. Yeah. And Andy's got the Steel Master. Anyway, if you get a Mech Junior, Kelly,
yeah,
he's right. And I mean, for the little bit more that you're going to spend on the Mac Junior as
Yeah.
opposed to the Lee Lodahl, the thing about the Mac Junior is it's a bit more difficult to set up. But if you're not going to change the recipe and you're only going to do that one load or that one
Yep.
hull, that one wad, that many ounces a shot, it will be a set it and forget it, and you'll be fine. So,
Okay.
and they come up for sale all the time because somebody has a junior and they want to upgrade. So,
Just
Okay.
watch the E.
Just
Yeah.
watch a CGN, and or I can actually, say Trevor or somebody else. Can you make me? Just saying.
I don't know.
I really
like,
don't.
Like 1,000 rounds of 28 gauge, please.
Yes, please.
I don't have the hulls. Just make
Yeah.
it happen.
Adriel, can you read this? Because Trevor doesn't want to, and neither do I. Just because it's so
man.
long. You're
all right,
awesome.
from
I
Barrett.
love the way that you
Remember
talk.
me when we talked on the Slamfire machine about match organization. I said I'd follow up after the match. Technically truthful.
It was last year. Sorry.
He said he'd follow up afterwards. So
Yeah, I know, it's true.
He's doing it. The match went well. We were told by one BOC that our seal targets were not legal. You guys all know the BOC? Okay, good.
nope.
You listen to the Ben Stoker podcast. You know what a BOC is?
Yes. Oh, BOCs. Right. One BOC told them that the steel targets weren't legal.
Yeah. They submitted to NROI. No update was ever posted on our forums that I can find, and I didn't receive any BOC email, so I guess they either referred to the section of the rulebook I sent them to, or it got lost in the mail.
I think
Out of
it.
it.
I need more on this.
Out of an abundance of caution, we even sent in photos with the sanctioning package for our next level 3, and we were all approved. It appears they even added a page to the Target Array Handbook, mixing plates and no-shoot steel. There were 9, I think, in the double qualifier last year, and they caused much grief. Picture a plate sitting on top of a 2x4. On the top of that 2x4 is a no-shoot steel approximately the size and shape of a mini target. They even resonate like a little gong, signaling that you yanked one down into it. There were no friends made at that match, that's for sure. Sounds like some tight shots. We had one BOC mess with my squatting. Told someone they could just jump in with whichever squad they wanted. We ended up not having one score for that competitor, having to reshoot and delaying results by an hour. When managing BOCs, they're pretty scared of technology. I lean on that to dissuade them from undoing the work I've already done. Also, if your list of people you want to shoot with is accompanied by a list of people you don't want to shoot with, enter practice score. Figure it out, kids. Some things that I'm incorporating this year. Practice score. We didn't use it last year. BC has a developer who built our own system. It has some great tools like work squatting, auto-generated equipment check forms, and it automatically assures competitors are eligible, current members not suspended, etc. So I'm going to use both this year. Register on IPSC BC, use practice score to pay in squad. As soon as you're registered on both, you get approval to squad. I can add people to the system, but it's extra work for no reason. I'm also going to be more organized with work detail, like hanging targets, garbage duty, etc. Everyone's standing around telling jokes or asking what they can do to help. I will have direction for them in advance. I've seen targets hung the day before, and it's always prone to rain here, especially on the side of the mountain where we're located, so we'll have index marks and crews to hang them before the final inspection by the MD. With 14 stages running at the same time, it's too much to not divide the labor. I took on too much last year. I did stats and MD duties. This year I've got a couple of good stats guys picked out, and they're going to get an assistant to train if I can spare the people. Last year was sort of a perfect storm of not having people I wanted available and stacking the senior MD's side to make sure it ran well for him. I got some recent receipt organizers from Staples. Like you see a cashier organize their receipts in. I use this for duplicate printer receipts. Again, it's a BC thing. We print two. One goes to the competitor, the other one goes in the file. I prefer to just do the one and follow the guidance of the rulebook. But this was a good and cheap solution to organizing 180 competitors with 14 pieces of paper each.
Wow.
Yeah, we do one. You get your receipt, and then the stats copy is the tablet.
Yeah, we don't even do paper for 3 guns, just all electronic.
No, you don't. You're not required to. We're required to.
Yep. Where did I leave off? I started writing a guide for stats as well. I've sort of figured it out on my own and learned more from a guy at another club, but we really need to train more people to do these jobs. This
I've
is
got a hand and I've got running water.
This is especially evident when it gets thrown at someone at a smaller match outside the Vancouver area, and I just don't know all the details. For example, here, if you're unclassified in a division, you're assigned a class one level below your highest. So if you're an M in Classic, a B in Open, and you decide to shoot production optics, you're scored A for class trophies. That's one of the things that I'm trying to incorporate into a manual for the more remote qualifiers.
If only our sport had a worldwide classification system, we wouldn't have to make up our own and be different from the other provinces. Wait, it does.
Oh, Barrett.
It's not a Barrett thing. Barrett was born into this mess. BC has their own classification system. It's complicated. Alberta has one. Ontario has one. And for what? So you can be the tallest midget? First B is like 15 shooters down from the top. Like, stop it. Who cares? You either win the match or you don't.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. One of the things that he's talking about here, I really agree with, and that's training the next generation. You always have to be working on that because people burn out, and if you get them, if you get the same people doing most of the work, it's too much. They burn out, and then instead of having a good solid senior core and then having intermediate and junior people also taking work that they can take on, that they're capable of, that can also get reviewed by someone senior.
You
You put new people in, you burn them out, and then you put another new person in, and you burn them out, and it just doesn't work that way. You lose a lot of the institutional knowledge when you lose those people.
Yep. I was so fortunate to work under Sals and Chris.
Yeah, that's a good example.
All right.
For now, I focus on May. I have declined to be the MD for any matches this year, only to assist. I do the computer stuff, emails, someone else gets it built. I work evenings, so this works well. 2020 is going to be a great year for competitive shooting here. I'm interested to hear your thoughts on youth programs. We're trying to get more youth involved for the obvious reasons. Off to work, Barrett, and I'll say the PS after this. What do you think about getting youth in?
Absolutely.
Well,
you need to.
I mean, there is a division for them. I'm not sure what the sport itself can do other than, I mean, there's a division, there is a category for youth. We acknowledge and recognize youth. We actually added a new sub-junior category, so it's not just 6 years old to less than 21 anymore. It's like junior and super junior or something like that. So that was, for award recognition. Kids were getting away from it, but there's still that participation award. They get a ribbon just for showing up. Well, if you're 12 years old and you're shooting against Ryan Dobson from Ontario, who can take on any man in the country and most in North America, and he's still a junior, you don't have a chance in competing against him. So they did that thing where they broke up the age group a little bit more, so that's good. I saw in Alberta, I don't remember if they were from Alberta or another province, but they even had media following them around. It was a whole squad of junior shooters, high school, middle school, boys and girls, and they all got help to get equipment and get training. So there was something there, right? So, but I mean, it still takes a mom and a dad with a fat bankroll to get these kids involved. It's nice to want to have kids involved, but shooting is expensive. So
yeah, and you have to get the mom and dad to train the kids and really work with them,
or get someone to train them.
Come on board. Yeah. I prefer
sometimes
actually.
Mom and dad need to
step away.
Yeah, thank God we don't have hockey parents.
Yeah. Okay. Helicopter parents, not good. So what are some of the things that we can do to entice youth to come into shooting? Because once we get there, there's
the
obviously
the crew already wants to be there. Every time you go to a gun show, kids are there. They're freaking out. The kids are it's not a question of motivating the kids. It's a question of educating the parents and educating parents that can afford to put their kid in shooting.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree with Trevor. I have to agree with Trevor on that one, because I mean, I've got tons of kids that would love to come to the range with me, but their parents aren't thrilled with it because they're either anti-gun, ambivalent, or just not. I guess they're scared more than anything else. But Yeah, it's the parents more than the kids.
I actually have a lot of parents approaching me to take their kids, and which I'm happy to do. So I also
Very
actually
fortunate.
I asked the parent to come as well at first, and then yeah. So I have
Rustigus for years has run a 22 kids program only.
Mhm.
Jose and Alain used to run it, and it was very popular. It
Mhm.
kind of died out there a little bit, but I mean, of course, we're in a rural province in a rural area, so it wasn't exactly hard to fill it up. But
Yeah.
if you offer a kids only program that's affordable,
Yep.
then the equipment is supplied. Like we've got, I don't even know how many cuis. I need to find out where our cuis are and go through them and see if there are any gems in there that I can buy from the club. It's a bunch of single shot cuis, and then the new
Yeah.
rascals and whatever the other one is.
Yeah. We have our own version of youth events as well, and we generally sell those out. We have restrictions on them because we like more instructors per the ratio for students. But we have a fantastic time with the kids, and we supply some of the rascals and some of the firearms as well. But have a great time with them. They're very eager, but parents, yeah, we have to get parents on board. So if we can get parents on board, then we can get the kids coming too. So
Yep.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right.
All right, I'll finish this off from Barrett. P.S. I signed off last year to run to work only to hear Kelly say something flattering. If I make up shirts that say Slamfire Kelly says I'm a hottie, how many can I put you down for? Proceeds to the CCFR. And I just listened to Adriel, Kelly, and Trevor trying to sort out who'd go first in a horror movie. Easy. Trevor goes first. He won't be able to decide which nylon 66 to bring. He brings them all. Slows them down. Adriel,
True.
same problem. Downsized, his stroller of guns tips over in a high-speed corner. And it would because it's a three-wheeler. Kelly grabs a 1022. 90 minutes later, she watches the credits roll.
True story.
I like it because
You bet.
Yep. Trevor's got a lot of nylon 66.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know what to bring. I don't know what to bring.
I know what to bring.
I'm gonna bring everything.
Mossberg 590 on my back, air slung on my chest, Glock on my hip. That's what you bring.
Okay.
I would do a cart. Yeah, the
Yeah.
tricycle cart with ammo
Okay,
on
no,
it,
sure.
just laden down. Yeah.
Yeah. And t-shirts. I think we should get that t-shirt, and
I
then
think
everybody wear them, and then yeah.
That's
So,
very
put me down.
confusing. You're just
Put me-
after everyone's wearing them, you're just very nice to everyone.
Yeah. Put me down for 10.
Mm.
I like t-shirts. I got
And
my own
hats.
made up. Yeah. So, anyways, we should have him back on at some point. All right. If you'd like to send an email to Slamfire Radio, send it to slamfireradio@gmail.com. We'd love to hear from you. If we've talked to you before, or if you have questions for us, we'd love to hear from you. We'll try and cover it as well. When we cover shout outs, Trevor. What do you got?
Okay, yeah, I got quite a few there, don't I? I suppose just go back to the notes.
Yeah.
Oh, to the Supreme Leader. That's all I have to say about that.
Who the
Just a
hell is
shout
the
out to the
Supreme
Supreme
Leader?
Leader. Yep. And to Jeff Reese from the Calgary Shooting Center. If you don't shop there, you're a communist. Jeff lost his dad.
Yeah.
His dad passed away. Very sad. And so we are sending him all of our best.
Yep.
And Ken Allen, member of the Woodstock Club and CCFR field officer for New Brunswick, had a heart attack this afternoon. And he's I'm waiting for updates. Last I heard, he was in an ambulance on the way to St. John Hospital where they do all the heart work. So yeah. So thoughts and prayers or whatever. Cash. Ken had a heart attack, so
Okay.
not good.
No.
And first it was Luke, and now it's Ken.
All right. Ian, do you have any shout outs that you'd like to do?
No, I'm okay actually for now.
Okay. Adriel?
Nope.
And I'd like to give a shout out to Brian Bolivar. Just wanted to say hi. I know that he's actually watching because he tuned in. And also, thanks for the messages this week. I miss you.
Funny story about Brian Bolivar.
Let's hear it.
About 10 years ago now, when I was a newbie at the local range in Barrie, Ontario, Brian Bolivar actually volunteered to sponsor me and let me into the range.
Oh, why did he
Oh.
do that?
Yeah,
Doesn't sound like him.
Yeah,
I know.
he was super nice. He was a executive. I think he was a vice at the time, and he just he said, "Hey, well, if you're having trouble getting a sponsor, I can give you a hand." And he took me under his wing and did the old intro to the chorus and everything else. It was very nice of him.
Very nice.
He
Just a
actually does
very,
a lot of that. He's a very nice guy.
just a
Just
poor
don't
judge
tell anyone.
of character.
Yeah, he just obviously didn't know me, but that's fine.
All right. Patreon supporters, we don't have any new Patreon supporters, but if you'd like to support us in any way, you can go on to patreon.com and go back and search out Slamfire Radio. We'd love to actually have you support us so that we can put out some content every week. Adriel will also send you patches and some things in the mail to you if you do become a Patreon supporter. And just make sure that you send us an email with your address, name and address, and he'll send that stuff out to you. And also join us on join one of our national firearms associations like the CCFR. If you want to drop by the Toronto Sportsman Show, we'll be there as well. Come by, I'll be there. Say hi to us, become a member as well. Check us out on Gun Owners of Canada. We have a thread there. You can chat with us. We'll even talk back to you. And give us a like on Facebook. We're currently at 2,368. Woo! Have a good night, guys. And zombie
Zombie apocalypse.
Lanyard. Lanyard.
Apocalypse. I can't talk. Apocalypse. Good night,
Make
everybody.
sure you take your Ecotech to the apocalypse.
That wasn't me.
Good night.
Good night.
So if you have any comments or questions for the show, please send an email to slamfireradio@gmail.com. Now go grab a gun and shoot something.
When the talking is over, it's time to get a gun.